Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. This weekend, I had facilitated a workshop at the University of Washington, and the theme was Make Happiness a Priority. And I tried to encourage the college students to do this using the niyamas, the do's. These are, in order, shaucha, be more organized. If you are, next is swadhyaya, be more reflective. Those who are organized have the privilege to reflect. Next is tapa. When you reflect on your strengths and particularly your weaknesses, then practice burning down those weaknesses, the comfort zone we have in such weaknesses. Next is pranidhana, which means to serve. When we serve, the best in us is released. And all of this leads to santosha. Tosha means satisfaction. Samtosha means to enjoy. How to make happiness a priority? It starts with shaucha, being organized. These college students tasted this through a 90-minute workshop. We've been tasting this for almost 16,000 minutes in an experience, a lifestyle. Meaningful Mornings is a catalyst to make happiness a priority. When one wants happiness, then they try to facilitate this through their own insights. They feel like they can do this on their own. When one needs happiness, that is very different. Wanting oxygen and needing oxygen are incomparable. When one needs happiness, then one knows they cannot facilitate this by their own insight. They need the insights of one who is happiness, so they can guide them to feel the same. Chapter 11, verse 1 through 4, Prince Arjuna is praying to Sri Krishna, for Sri Krishna, or we can change the word to happiness, because Prince Arjuna no longer wants this, he needs this. In verses 5 through 8, Sri Krishna answers Prince Arjuna's prayer. And Sri Krishna's insight is essentially, you are me, which means you are happiness. In verses 9 through 14, Sanjaya is further describing Sri Krishna to Raja Dhritarashtra. The first dialogue in the Bhagavad Gita is not between Prince Arjuna and Sri Krishna, it's between Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya. And I love how Rishi Vyasa inserts this. Who is Dhritarashtra? Dhritarashtra is one who's attached. Who is Dhritarashtra? Me. All of us. So the way Sanjaya spoke to Raja Dhritarashtra, this whole divine mystic experience is speaking to us. And zooming into verse 15, where Prince Arjuna responds, Arjuna uvacha pashyami devams tava deva dehe sarvans tata bhuta vishesha samghan brahmanam isham kamalasanastam rishimscha sarvan urugamscha divyan. Prince Arjuna responds, says is a poor way to describe uvacha here. Prince Arjuna responds, sharing with Sri Krishna, I see, but my seeing is backed by understanding, so I feel the semi-gods and all beings. It's almost like he's looking from top to the bottom. He specifies more. I see, I feel Bhagwan Brahma and his family, that is the rishis, and the snakes, who even biologically tend to live on the ground. The implication of Prince Arjuna seeing and feeling, Sri Krishna is all. No conditions, top or bottom. The next verse will highlight that. For us, we also have to see and feel that we are in Sri Krishna. And if you see and feel this, you will depend on Sri Krishna. One of my close friends in high school was a Cypriot. And so as part of being a citizen of Cyprus, he had to serve in the military. Vivek doesn't live in Cyprus, so Vivek doesn't have to depend on Cyprus, so I don't have to serve in the military. We live in Sri Krishna. So to depend on Sri Krishna, now for many who live a very busy lifestyle, how? This doesn't make any sense. In our parenting culture space yesterday, we explored a really potent value, anahankara, which in English means surrender. Surrender that you are the doer or you are the parent. How? Start working on reducing deservership. Reduce relating with people to get something. That's what we do in stores, isn't it? That's what we do online. In a version of Ramayana, when Hanumanji was in Lanka, his tail spoke to him saying, you sit here, I will go work on Lanka. And after the tail worked on Lanka and Hanumanji came back to be with Sri Rama was offering him so much recognition, ovation, inclusion. And Hanumanji was very clear that he's not the doer. So he's not the deserver. Amazing how our scriptures teach. Again, I'm sharing lots of reflections for us to apply. Here's one more. As you go about living yesterday, today, and so on, and you're using the body, let's just hold it at the body. Instead of thinking so much about the action, think about the ability that facilitates the action. Vivek has a hand, but how is it that I'm able to use this hand? That helps me to reduce my deservership, to depend on Sri Krishna. This is very clear in the next verse, verse 16. Aneka bahu daravaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvatontantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa. Aneka means you cannot count this, which means you cannot see it. What? Bahu? Show me your bahu. Yes, your muscles. Udara, you don't have to show me. That's your stomach. You keep that to yourself for now, okay? Vakra, your mouth. Netra, your eyes. This is what Prince Arjuna is sort of seeing, but what he's feeling is, throughout Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna has called Prince Arjuna Mahabaho. Correct? The one with the greatest arms. But now he's coming to understand who's really Maha. I have 2 arms, you have all arms. Pashyami tvam sarvato ananta rupam. I understand that you are all and that you are in all directions. He's specifying directions here because Prince Arjuna is used to directions. If I tell you space is north, south, east, and west, that's easier for you to hold on to than if I say space is all pervading. We're used to direction, so he's expressing this in his understanding. Now, an implication for us here. Prince Arjuna specifies his own body with his arms and his mouth. He specifies what's around his body, which is all of these directions. Life enables living. The outer world is only relevant because of the inner world. Who cares about space if I can't use my mind? But how is it that my mind is even able to function? It is because of awareness. So this is very much God enables the greatest, which enables the great. The connection between chapter 10 and 11, reminding you of a statement I made earlier. Instead of focusing on the action, focus on the ability that enables the action. Na antam, na madhyamam, na punaha, tava adim. You have no ending, you have no middle, and also you have no beginning. Have you heard such a phrase before? In chapter 10, Shri Krishna shares this in verse 20. Right before he begins all of his examples, he shares, Adi, Madhyama, Anta, I am all of these. Adi means beginning, Madhyama means middle, Anta means end. And then he shares this again in verse 32. At the end of all of these comparisons, Prince Arjuna is repeating this back to him, which means he's actively listening and he's starting to feel this too. I point this out to you to show Prince Arjuna's evolution. And then naturally his evolution, how he did it, becomes our path. To actively listen, to use the same terminology. And finally, Pashyami, I see and understand, Vishveshwara. You are the master of the multiverse, not He-Man, you. Vishwarupa, I see and understand. You are not just the master of this multiverse, your form is the multiverse. So some final reflections for everyone. What is the theme of chapter 11? chapter 11 is presence. The theme of chapter 11 is presence. And when we start to have this darshana, this seeing and understanding of this presence, we feel less like an individual and more like the infinite. If you have this darshana, the seeing backed with understanding, you will stop feeling you're just whoever you are. Prince Arjuna's problem is he thinks he's Arjuna. But Sri Krishna is lifting his sense of I-ness to Pandava, to Dharma, now to Sri Krishna. What we are getting to do together is once in a lifetime. I can't describe it to you. From inspiration to application, your recent application was to contemplate on verses 9 through 13. When you contemplate, in Sanskrit this is called nididhyasana. It is changing your sense of I. These verses are triggers to contemplation. Your application for today is, when I was in Seattle, and it's happening across the world, a lot of people are being laid off, especially in tech companies. And it's unfortunate. To be laid off is unfortunate for most people. So to help everyone, particularly those who are experiencing this, actively feel that you're now employed by Sri Krishna. Actively feel that you're an employee of Sri Krishna. First, you're going to force this. You're going to see it. But eventually, you're going to understand that this is the truth. Even your boss is an employee of Sri Krishna. So by deduction, you become an employee of Sri Krishna. That's all. Anything else that we have to share? No. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.